Niagara Falls is one of the most famous sites in the Great Lakes, and the power of the Niagara River makes for more than great snapshots. It also produces enough electricity to power millions of homes.
Electricity powers our daily lives, from our first cup of coffee in the morning to the streetlights that guide us home at night. As society shifts away from fossil fuels and toward renewable resources, power generation from water will play a critical role alongside wind and solar. The New York Power Authority is the largest state-run utility in the United States, providing about a fifth of all the power used in the state of New York. Much of that power is generated on the Niagara River, which runs between New York State and Ontario. Daniela Piper is the New York Power Authority's Executive Vice President and Chief Innovation Officer.
Congress authorized the Niagara Redevelopment Act in 1958 to build the Niagara Power Project. The Niagara Power Project consists of two facilities: the Robert Moses Project, which is where we're located today, and the Lewiston Pump Generating Plant.
In 1957, the Federal Power Commission issued a license to the New York Power Authority to develop the Niagara Falls hydroelectric power stations. Dan Connolly is chief mechanic at the Robert Moses Niagara Power Plant.
I like to look at this place and how they built it back in the 50s with lots of blue-collar folks, lots of tradesmen. There wasn't the fancy equipment we have nowadays.
We had over 11,000 laborers who worked on this plant, which is a pretty phenomenal feat.
An immense amount of work had to be undertaken before construction of the actual power plant could begin.
We had to build new railroads, housing had to be established, schools were established to educate the children of the people who worked here, excavation of over 18,000 cubic feet of rock. We had to basically remove over 8,000 cubic feet of soil, and we poured almost 3,000 cubic yards of concrete to build this plant.
Construction of the plant and power generating infrastructure was an astronomical feat. At the time, President Kennedy called it, quote, an example to the world of North American efficiency and determination.
First power was 3 years from shovel going in the ground to making power with Unit 1 to power the rest of the cement factories and everything else that was going on around here. I don't think we could ever do that today.
The Robert Moses Power Plant was completed in 1961, and it remains the largest hydropower project in the northeastern United States. The plant generates enough electricity daily to power 2.6 million homes, all from the force of gravity pulling on water. Lake Erie is about 325 feet higher than Lake Ontario, and water drops that entire distance as it moves from one lake to the other.
We take water out of the Niagara River and we turn that hydropower into electricity.
More than 6 million cubic feet of water flows over Niagara Falls every minute. Yet that is only half of the natural volume of the Niagara River. The rest of the water is diverted upstream before it ever reaches the falls.
The amount of water we can divert is dictated by a treaty that outlines how the water is shared between the US and Canada. On average, 100,000 CFS is allowed to flow over the falls, and the balance is diverted between us and the Canadians.
The Sir Adam Beck No. 1 power generating station operates on the Canadian side of the river. Together, the two countries generate almost 5 million kilowatts of electricity daily.
We divert water from the upper Niagara River in two conduits that really run under the city of Niagara Falls and comes into an area that's called our forebay.
The water enters the forebay through an area known as the pant leg. The pant leg earns its name from looking a lot like a pair of pants.
Water from the forebay can be used twice. It powers the Robert Moses plant, and it also powers the Lewiston Pump Generating Plant, where it can be stored in a reservoir or used to generate electricity.
The reservoir acts like a battery. When more energy is needed, water is released from the reservoir and travels through the Lewiston plant and the Robert Moses plant, generating electricity twice as it travels back to the river. Along the way, the water drops down multiple tunnels to spin the plant's turbines. At peak times, 43 million gallons of water per minute flow through the turbines.
You got about 800 ton of rotating equipment right there. Between a rotor, two shafts, and the water wheel is about 800 ton. That's what's spinning. We've got 13 of them.
Each spinning turbine converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. The electrical energy travels from the turbines to the switchyard, and from there, the power is sent to the grid.
We're also a big investor in transmission, and we really are focused on building infrastructure that allows power to be moved from upstate, where we have more renewables, downstate to where the load is and where power is needed as we transition to a clean energy economy.
The plant is currently undergoing a $1.2 billion 15-year upgrade and modernization program that will significantly extend its operating life.
The project is over 60 years old. What that means is a lot of the assets are at the end of life. Last year, we started construction on what we call our Next Generation Niagara project. We're undertaking an overhaul or replacement of all of the mechanical parts at the Route Moses project.
Like now we're getting into the Unit 6 teardown for the life expectancy program. Everything comes out. Water wheel, it's out on the deck. Everything's out of the hole so they can true the hole back up to vertical. Nothing's light around here, and if something does go bad, we're gonna be in trouble. Somebody's gonna be in. It probably won't be alive, so we're pretty safe when it comes to things like that, but you gotta stay on your toes.
The Niagara Power Project is crucial for New York State to achieve its goal of a zero carbon emissions electricity sector by 2040.